Welcome, everyone. My name is Christy True. I'm the Director of King County's Department of Natural Resources and Park. I would like to begin by recognizing that we are on the land first populated by Native Americans, and we note our respect for their descendants who still live on and steward this land today. Thank you for taking the time to join us. This very special place, Steve Cox Memorial Park. We're here today to mark the executive's announcement of his proposal for the next King County Parks Levy. Also here today to talk with you are King County Council members Joe McDermott and Jeannie Cole-Wells, Naisha Fort Brooks from Global to Local. She's also a member of King County's very first Open Space Equity Cabinet, and John Hoekstra from the Mountains to Sound Greenway. I'd also like to just recognize a few of the very important people who have come here to join us today. Larry Phillips, who's former King County Council member. Alejandro Grajal, who's the director of the Woodland Park Zoo. Thank you for coming. Dave Kapler from the Issaquah Alps. Dave's in the back, tall guy. Andy Baker from the Mary Moore Velodrome. Christine Mailer, who's the executive director of the Washington Wildlife Recreation Coalition, and Brad Rutherford, who's from the aquarium. Thank you for joining us today. And now I'd like to turn to King County Executive Dow Constantine, who will present his vision to fund the future of parks. And a great thing to point out, I think, about Executive Constantine is that he also once represented this district as a council member. He, of course, represents it as executive, but he also grew up just a short distance away from this park. So please welcome Dow Constantine.
Well, thank you, Christy. And thanks to all of you for being here on this beautiful White Center morning. It is glorious today. We promise this weather every day when we renew the King County Parks Levy. I want to thank you for coming to Steve Cox Memorial Park. This is one of the many crown jewels of your King County Park system. And I'm here today to announce my proposal to renew the King County Parks Levy. Now, my plan delivered to the council today ensures that we manage and maintain our today 28,000 acres of parks and trails, and that we preserve, protect, and restore the natural beauty that makes this place so special. As you know, this park is named for King County Sheriff Deputy Steve Cox, a beloved community leader taken from us far too soon. The current Parks Levy, which was approved in 2013 and is expiring this December, funded the multi-use ballpark and basketball court improvements here. The levy also replaced 14 bridges and trestles on our regional trails. It built new trailheads. It improved our 200 regional parks, including Marymore and Ravensdale and Dockton. Steve Cox Memorial Park is one of King County's most popular parks. It's a place where thousands of kids and teens and families come to play ball or picnic or just enjoy the open space. In one of the most diverse places in King County, there are more than 50 languages spoken here in White Center alone. This is a gathering place, a place where all are welcome, where everyone is encouraged to enjoy. Well, Steve Cox grew up around here, very nearby, Evergreen High School class of 1978. He loved his community. He believed in it. He wanted the young people here to have every chance at success in life. His legacy inspires us to make sure every resident, no matter their income, no matter their background, has the same access to opportunity as everyone else. So it's fitting that in this place, I'm introducing the next 6-year Parks Levy to renew our commitment to create more open space, to protect our rivers and forests, to improve popular trails like the East Lake Sammamish Trail and the Lake to Sound Trail, and to ensure that every resident in every zip code in this vast county has the opportunity to experience everything that the region has to offer. You're right, Christy. I grew up not too far from here myself. West Seattle High School, and I hate to say it, but class of 1980. It's starting to sound like a long time ago. As a kid, I played sports on our fields. As a scout, I hiked in our King County wilderness. As an adult, I have spent decades working to protect and preserve this place I love, even in the midst of rapid change. Well, this parks levy advances my environmental priorities: to preserve and protect rivers and forests, and to do our part to tackle climate pollution. At a time when federal officials are more inclined to exploit our natural resources to sell them off to the highest bidder, we're fighting back. We are making King County cleaner. We're making it greener. We are shouldering our generational responsibility to pay it forward, to leave this place better than it would have been without us. This proposal is about keeping parks clean and safe and open. It is about expanding access to parks and recreation. And it is also about a generational investment in our environment by protecting open space, conserving vital lands that sustain and support us, protecting habitat for salmon, storing carbon to help us combat climate change, pushing back against sprawl and unchecked growth. This levy enables us to be better stewards of our parks, our trails, our lands, from containing noxious weeds to improving the health of our forests. By extending and linking our truly world-class trails system, we're not only creating recreational opportunities, we're providing a green commute and allowing folks to leave their cars at home and keep them off the roads. For a rate of 16.82 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value, or about $7 for the average $500,000 home, we make an investment in our quality of life for ourselves, for future generations. Voters understand that. It's part of our history. 51 years ago this month, King County approved the Forward Thrust Parks and Recreation Bond by a margin of 65%. Voters approved the Farmland Preservation Program in 1979, saving 12,000 acres of arable land. Since 1982, when we passed the Conservation Futures Tax, in 1989, when we passed the King County Open Space Bond issue, we have saved over 100,000 acres of irreplaceable open space. And King County approved the first parks levy in 2003 and renewed it in 2007 and again in 2013. We vote for these things because we love and care about these things. Well, every year the popularity of King County parks and trails grows and grows. You know that's true if you've been out there riding your bike or hiking. More and more and more people want to escape to the wilderness, to get that outdoor experience. And we are providing that opportunity, and we're going to provide more of it with this levy. I'm confident that with your help, King County voters will once again approve the King County Parks levy. Because no matter how much we grow and change, some things stay the same. Our love of this place, of our forests and streams. The belief, too, that every one of us should have the opportunity to enjoy them. Our values that guide us to support investments that make us a stronger and healthier and that most intangible of things, happier community. I want to thank you for being here today. I want to single out former Council Chair Larry Phillips, who helped lead our committee that created the Land Conservation Initiative, by which, and this levy will have a good deal to do that, we will preserve some of the last best places, 65,000 acres of open space and trail connections. Thank you, Larry, for your lifelong commitment to our environment. And I'm pleased now to introduce another champion of the environment, the council member from this very district, the 8th County Council District, Joe McDermott.
Thank you, Dow. It's quite a contrast to be standing next to this brand new replaced field adjacent to the White Center Community Center, affectionately known as the Log House. It was built, the log cabin was actually built about 80 years ago and is one of the oldest structures that King County Parks manages. Steve Cox Park has served as White Center's gathering space for decades, a place open to all, where neighbors can come together for recreation, entertainment, and just hanging out with family and friends. Working with community partners, King County Parks has done a great job of updating the amenities here, including Mel Olson Stadium, the log cabin, upgraded tennis and basketball courts, my favorite, the racquetball courts, and so much more. And now, with the addition of the all-weather multi-purpose field, more people can spend more time recreating here in Steve Cox Park. These investments will help ensure that Steve Cox Memorial Park continues to serve White Center and our neighboring communities for as perhaps the region's most vibrant park in recreational investment. Further investments in parks, trails, open space are scheduled to come to this side of King County as part of this proposal. Over in West Hill, for example, Parks would continue improving Skyway Park. On Vashon Island, Parks would repair the boat dock and play area at Dockton Park and improve trails for hiking, biking, and horseback riding in Island Center Forest. And just down the hill from here, Parks would be able to extend the Green River Trail northward, making a safe connection from Cecil Morris Park into the South Park neighborhood. Another incredibly important investment in this proposal will allow King County to acquire and preserve open space, green space, to ensure that we are doing our part to support the environment and the health of our communities, as well as ourselves, that we all cherish in this beautiful part of the country. As we see more and more people moving to our beautiful region, this proposal is truly an investment in the health of our families, in the health of our communities, in the health of our environment for decades, if not centuries to come. I'm very proud of this work, and I'm proud to be joined in this work by my colleague on the King County Council, Jean Cole-Wells.
Thank you very much, Joe, and Executive Dow Constantine. I enthusiastically support Executive Constantine's proposal for a number of reasons. The preservation of natural lands, expanding access to green space for underserved communities, and enhancing what we already have. The Parks Levy truly will benefit all throughout King County. Primarily, it will provide millions of dollars over the course of this levy to support parks and recreation in cities throughout the county. The funding will give our local cities the ability to make significant investments in their local communities, and their residents, very importantly, the ability to guide those funding decisions based on their community's unique needs. It also provides funding for grants to help our cities protect open space and provide better access to recreation in local neighborhoods, such as ball fields, and has been mentioned here, is a great example, but also play for underserved areas, which we do have in our county. And very importantly, the levy will benefit the next generation and beyond by providing funding for essential land conservation and preservation. I'm particularly pleased that the executive's proposal includes funding as well for two iconic landmarks, the Woodland Park Zoo and the Seattle Aquarium, which are regional treasures, but also I'm very blessed to have in my district in Seattle. I am very eager to be able to see more children, more families who have never experienced a visit to the zoo or aquarium, be able to giggle at the sight of a sea otter nibbling at a shell, or fall in love when they lock eyes with the giraffe at the Woodland Park Zoo. I do that. these experiences should not be exclusive to those who live nearby or have the means to be able to attend the events and the exhibits. And this levy will do that by expanding the opportunity for individuals, children, families in underserved communities across King County. The zoo, in fact, provides more than 80,000 free admissions every year that are distributed throughout communities across the entire county. This levy will expand the opportunities to make residents all across the county to be able to get to the zoo and to fund, very importantly, this levy will fund conservation and environmental education programs that the zoo put on throughout our communities, having access to them. And the levy, very, very excitingly, will provide the Seattle Aquarium with funds for construction of the new Ocean Pavilion, a bold reimagining of the northern portion of downtown Seattle's waterfront that will help visitors better understand our marine environments and our role as stewards for these unique places. Our marine environment, our animals on land, reptiles, etc., really do need our stewardship. Further, King County Parks has done a remarkable job of creating and caring for our tremendously important regional parks that attract visitors, including dogs from all across the county. What dog doesn't love Marymore Park? My dogs over the years certainly have, and we would take them from Belltown and Queen Anne, where we've lived, to Marymore Park. It's hard to believe when we think about it, but for those of us who live in Seattle, and I live in Belltown, it's only about a 20 to 25-minute drive to be able to get to the trailheads at Cougar Mountain Park with its 36 miles of hiking trails and the Seattle Running Club's popular Cougar Mountain Trail running series. We're going to be able to have more connectivity among the trails, which is really going to benefit a lot of people. Now, also about the same distance is Rattlesnake Mountain, and that's where there are equally many wonderful hiking spots. My husband, Alex, left this morning at 7 a.m., which he does every Thursday morning to meet up with his hiking buddies. They call themselves the Breakfast Club. And the leader selects a trail every Wednesday, lets them know where they're going to meet up. And they go out hiking. And today, I think it was at Cougar Mountain. And they have a wonderful time. Their camaraderie. They look forward to it. And they go through the twisted trails and through the tall trees with the remarkable vantage points. But afterwards, they contribute to the local economy because they select an eatery to go have breakfast. And in doing so, they are able to replenish the many calories that they burned off on their hike and not feel guilty about it. Sometimes Alex lets me know he had that second cinnamon bun, and I said, I don't think he really needed that. But it's also no further from my neighborhood to the Cedar River Trail, and thanks to former council member Larry Phillips for all he did to bring that about. Or to the Sammamish River Trail in Kenmore. Cyclists, joggers can take advantage of getting exercise, but also enjoying the fabulous views and the setting. So short distances from people who live in urban neighborhoods and take advantage of all of the fabulous open spaces and parks and trails on the east side. And the zoo and the aquarium, regional treasures, are able to bring people to enjoy and learn and particularly become stewards of our environment. That's why this levy is so important. It benefits all of us in King County. And it's not just for us who are here now, but to be able to educate our citizens who are coming up to be able to be stewards and love the open spaces as well. Thank you very much, and please join me in welcoming Nisha Fort Brooks of Global to Local and a member of King County's Open Space Equity Cabinet.
Good morning. My name is Nisha Fort Brooks. I work for Global to Local. We are a nonprofit located in SeaTac, Washington. Unfortunately, here in South King County, we happen to have the highest health disparities, and it's investments like this from the Parks Levy that allows for more urban green space for communities to come outside and play and build community and also decrease the health inequities that our communities are facing down here. Oftentimes, a lot of our communities do not have transportation to get to the regional trails. So it's important that we make more investments for urban parks so that our communities can come out and just have a really good time, and also knowing that there are many different cultures down here, and parks may mean different things to us, but they mean many different things to many different ethnicities. So just to be mindful that we still continue with these investments and that we decrease the health inequities down here in South King County. And I'm also very grateful to be part of the Equity Cabinet. We're making a lot of leadway and we're doing a lot of wonderful things. And so thank you, Dow, Constantine, for the opportunity, and Christy and Darren. Thank you. And now I'd like to present John, I apologize, Huckstra from Mountains to Sound Greenways. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Huckstra, and I'm the Executive Director of the Mountains to Sound Greenway Trust. And thank you for inviting us to participate in this announcement this morning, Dow. As others have said, we live in a very special place where the outdoors are always close at hand. Our easy access to so many parks, trails, and open spaces is a big reason so many of us love to live here. And it's a big reason that so many more people continue to move into this area. The Puget Sound region is now home to more than 4 million people, and about half of them live right here in King County. As our population continues to grow, there's ever-growing demand for trails and open spaces where people can get out and enjoy all that the outdoors have to offer. The Greenway Trust has worked for nearly 30 years with a broad coalition of government agencies like King County, with nonprofits, and with the business community to conserve and enhance our public lands in and around our communities, because when we are connected with nature, our lives are better. People are happier and healthier. Our communities are stronger, more equitable, and more economically competitive. This relationship that we have with the landscape around us is a big reason that the Mountains to Sound Greenway has been nominated to become a National Heritage Area by Congress. It spans from here in Seattle all the way across to Ellensburg. And that relationship we have to the landscape is a big reason that we've seen the investments that we've made in King County in our parks network, and why I'm confident that we as a community will continue to choose to continue to support our parks. The parks, trails, and open spaces that we create and care for today are smart and, I believe, essential investments in the future of our communities. When we conserve land or connect a trail or preserve habitat for fish and wildlife, we create and multiply opportunities. Opportunities for families to gather and play, opportunities for school children to learn about forests and streams that support salmon and orca and provide us with clean air, clean water, and other natural resources. Our open spaces also provide opportunities to decompress from the stresses of urban life and to explore the wonders of wilderness that's literally on the doorstep of our communities. I'm excited to see that Executive Constantine's Levy proposal includes important and substantial commitments not only to protecting open space, but to ensuring that all people in all of our communities have access to the green spaces and wild places in King County. Over the course of the levy, about $131 million will be available to grow and connect our regional open spaces throughout King County. Some $35 million will be available for open space protection in King County's cities. Another $119 million will be dedicated to making green spaces and recreation more accessible to more people. And finally, some $321 million will ensure that King County's existing parks and trails, as well as programs like Trailhead Direct, remain open and available for everyone to enjoy. 2 years ago, I was proud to represent the Mountains to Sound Greenway at the kickoff of Trailhead Direct, a groundbreaking transit to trails program launched by King County Metro and King County Parks, with support from a coalition of agencies, nonprofit groups like mine, and local businesses. I've been blown away by the almost instant popularity of Trailhead Direct, which has enabled thousands of people to enjoy some of the very most popular trails in the Issaquah Alps and the Cascade Mountains without needing to drive a car. It's this sort of forward-thinking mindset that makes me proud and excited to enthusiastically support Executive Constantine's Parks Levy proposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's do one more round of applause for all of our speakers who did a great job. Before I close, I do want to recognize one other person, Joe Mentor, who's in the back there. Joe has raised a tremendous amount of financial resources for this park, and he has also put in a lot of his personal sweat equity into the park. So thank you, Joe, for all your work, and thanks for coming today. King County Parks began with a mere 150 acres in 1938. At the end of this levy period, when it ends in December, we will be at about 31,000 acres as part. That's going to be your big backyard at the end of this year. As you look at this map of projects that we're going to be investing in, more than 40 plus parks, you can see that we're going to continue to make a fabulous investment in making this a great place for everybody to live, work, play, and learn.